be part 3 of our conversation with Noel and Jessica. We're now talking about, okay, his business is growing. He's figured out what you call that product market fit. He overcome some hurdles. He then reached another hurdle, but it was a fixable hurdle. It just required some advice, required some money, and required a new way of thinking bigger. So walk us through, which I think will be probably our most popular segment, the whole Shark Tank experience. Like, talk us through the audition, pre-pitching. Let's talk about that part first, please.
So, it was way different than what was in my head.
Okay.
So I thought that I had the script and I was going to be behind a closed door and I was going to be able to pitch.
Yep.
Just between me and you. No. There's 5 tables. 5 people are pitching at the same time. It was not what I thought. Just threw me off, right? So I actually got rejected from Shark Tank. Not once. Not twice. Not 3 times. Oh yeah, 3 times. So I got rejected 3 times. I got rejected 3 times. And the 4th time, I was able to get a call back and actually get there.
What made your pitch different the 4th time?
So persistence, I think, because I didn't even get to pitch the 4th time. The 4th time, I came with a stack, because this is where I was sold out, a stack of papers, of back orders in my cells. And before I even got into my pitch, I told her what it was. I showed her my product. She stopped me. And she was like, I know what this is. My coworker just bought this 2 weeks ago. And he loves it. I know exactly what it is.
So you're one of your customers did the selling for you.
Correct.
That's cool. That's good.
And then she came back. She told me why I didn't get a call back. And then I was like, oh, well, yeah, I can totally be more outgoing. And
so what was the feedback she gave you? Because that's good advice for others.
The first time, again, in my head, I had a pitch. And I said, you know what? Let's just make this a conversation. Because I'm not about to try to have a pitch while 4 other people are talking. Like, let's just talk about it. And I didn't have that high energy. Because you have to understand that Shark Tank is not a business show. If you think Shark Tank is a business show,
it's a reality show.
It's a TV.
Creates experiences.
Right. It's a TV.
Okay.
You have to be entertaining. So be entertaining. That's most important thing, most biggest advice. If you're trying to get on television, you have to be entertaining.
Okay.
That's it.
So the 4th time happens, you get in, walk us through what happens then.
So you get like a handler, a point of contact person,
okay,
and they walk you through what you need to do to go you through the steps. And then through this whole thing, they keep telling you that you're not guaranteed. Like you're not going to get on. Like we can't guarantee it. Like you can get called to actually pitch them. You can actually pitch the Sharks, and you can actually get a deal with the Sharks, and you still may not air.
So could you get an investment?
Yes.
Even if it's not aired?
Yes.
Okay. Well, which would have been okay for you?
Well, I said no. I said you're lying. Like that doesn't make sense because if I'm throwing out $200,000, I want the airtime.
Of course you do.
But I found out that it is true. That because the Sharks are the Sharks and ABC is ABC. They're 2 different identities. ABC is going to do what's best for television. The Sharks are going to do what's best for their portfolio.
That's actually good in a way, separating
Correct.
the differences. Okay, so they're prepping you. They're getting ready to pitch. What was the day you pitched? The actual date? July of when?
2018.
Okay, so you're now in there. What was it like?
Just a conversation. Like my thing is, I hate reciting. Because if I have to say, hi, my name is Noel Durity, and I was born in Trinidad. And then I come out and I say I was born in Trinidad, my name is Noel Durity. It throws me completely off because I didn't say it word for word, right? So my thing was like, yo, let's just get through this pitch. Let's get through the memorized portion so we can get to the Q&A because I would crush it at the Q&A.
Good.
Right? So I was able to get through and I had my friends with me, and I was able to get through the pitch.
Who made you the most nervous during the whole process?
No one. I just didn't want to mess up.
Who do you think was the hardest on you, or you felt like, and I know you're not there to impress everyone, but who do you felt was like, they're not a believer?
So I went in there trying to get Mark or Damon.
Why?
Because I know Robert. Like, if you do your research, you can figure out how these people are going to invest.
Well, Robert doesn't have your hair, too, right?
Well, no, Robert invests in things that he understands, and he's an emotional investor, and he likes to invest in things that he loves, right? Okay. I knew that he wasn't going to get it, because, again, like you said, he doesn't have my hair. Right? Lori, she may like it, she may not, but she likes to invest in things that are like macro that everyone can have, right? She doesn't really like to niche products.
Fair enough.
So I was like, okay, Mr. Wonderful, I'm a firm believer that you should do business with people that you get along. I feel like Mr. Wonderful is a type A, I'm a type A, we're not going to get along. So regardless if he gave me a deal or not, that's the one person I did not want to deal with. Not because he's a bad dude, just because I feel like our personalities are not going to mesh well.
Respect. Okay.
Damon, for any black entrepreneur, Damon is the guy.
He is.
Like there's a millions of black entrepreneurs out there, but Damon is the one that's most out there.
Did you study Damon before this whole thing?
Yeah, I knew FUBU. Yeah, for us by us.
Okay,
like
what did you learn from Damon prior to this?
I actually, when I invented the comb, I went back to figure out like how did he market.
Yeah.
Because that's his demographic. That's my market, right?
Yeah.
So I was trying to duplicate his marketing strategy, but for me, seeing is believing, right? Just like when Obama became president, like it's like, yo, we can do it if someone else did it, right? That you don't need to reinvent the wheel. It's not that hard. If Damon is a successful multi-millionaire entrepreneur
right.
and he's black and he's succeeding in America, then I'm not the first one to do it. So therefore, it is possible.
Right. Okay.
So by all means, Damon is like a hero of mine. And
so let's talk about Mark then. Why Mark?
Because he's Mark Cuban.
Okay, but what appealed to you about him? I mean, I get him, I love him, but I mean,
so Mark does niche. Mark does great. Mark just invests in any entrepreneur that he feels like, yo, he's gonna work. He's the gritty, right? And he's a real guy. He's not one of those billionaires that's like chauvinistic or whatever. Like Mark is just like a down to earth, everyday guy that is a hustler. At the end of the day, he will sleep in his friend's house and do what he needs to do and to get his business off the ground. And he has one of those famous sayings. I was dating this girl, and she was like, it's between your business or me. And he looked at the girl, and he was like, what's your name again? Because it's he knows what it takes, you know? And I was like, if I'm fortunate enough to air, and if I'm fortunate enough to get a deal with any of them, I wanted to get it with Mark Cuban or Damon John. And when I got it with both of them, like I literally, like if you see the episode, you see me tell Robert, like, yo, like calm down, bro, like can I take this moment in? Like I know what I just got, but like I don't want to respond right now. Let this marinate, let me enjoy this moment, and then I will respond. All right, thank you. And then I responded. Yeah, but it's America, man. Okay. I'm living proof that the American dream is like live and well in this day, in 2019. It's incredible.
How did you develop this mindset? I mean, who was an influence for you growing up?
Parents.
What did your parents teach you? Because that's a great statement. Why I bring that up is because, is it hard right now for some people in our country, in the world? Absolutely. But is there a way to make a change? Yes, it requires a certain kind of mindset, and I feel that comes from influences that we all look up to. So what did your parents teach you?
So, again, not to play the race card, but being black in America, you have challenges. Right?
Okay.
So I'm raised differently, right? So my mom and my dad always said, look at the glass half full, not half empty, right? Always be positive, right? And then my dad will always say, look at people that are succeeding. You're not the first. It's going to be hard. It's going to be challenging. So I already knew that going in. I expected no's. I expected to get rejected. I expected for this to be hard. But it's not hard for me because it's like me approaching a girl. I'm expecting you to tell me no. Like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times before you say yes. When I'm doing an entrepreneur thing, it's the same thing. I expect for me to fail. I want to fail. I want to fail as fast as possible.
Okay.
Because the more I fail, the faster I will learn.
Yeah.
And then I won't be making those mistakes in year 2 or year 3 or year 4.
Okay.
It sucks that if you are successful for the first 2-3 years and you make a $200,000 mistake your 4th year because you're trying to grow or you're trying to get big way too fast. And those things, it's like, yo, I need to learn those at a very young age. And I did. Because when I wanted a PlayStation or I wanted a bike, my dad didn't have the money. I opened up a lemonade stand. I went and hustled and played basketball. I went to the candy store, bought 3 candies for $1, and then sold each of them for $1 each, and started door knocking. So at a very young age, I interacted with people. And it was a lot easier when you're a child, because I can door knock, and they were like, oh, how cute, and they would give me $1 for a candy. Now it's just creepy if I did.
All right, last question about this, and then we're going to take a quick break and talk to Jessica about startup grind, Orange County. So you got the investment. Looking back, you said the whole thing that you're a proof of that the American dream is real, and I appreciate you sharing your personal side. What advice you have for that man or woman who wants to go all the way with Shark Tank? Might have been a similar product to you, niche focus, whatever, but it's a product that wants to make people's lives better, and they had a lot of they didn't have the hookups. They had to go all the way like you did. What advice would you give them?
It's not the end of the world if you don't get on.
Okay.
Right? But with or without Shark Tank, you have to know that you're going to be successful.
Okay.
Whether or not I got a deal on Shark Tank, I knew I was going to be successful. Do not underestimate the power of Google. Do not underestimate the power of YouTube, the power of Facebook marketing, and first and foremost, do not underestimate the power of yourself. If you want to sell something, as something, and go extreme. If my life depended on me selling this to somebody for $100, I would sell this for $100. If you create something and you want to be an entrepreneur, you have to say that your life depends on you making a sale today. And if you do not, it will literally end.
Okay.
And if you have that mindset, you're going to go out and not give 100. You're not going to give 110. You're going to give like your all. Because in reality, if you are an entrepreneur, whether you win or you fail, it's all on you.
Okay.
And you have to have that unique like instinct to do so. And you need to put that in everything in your life. So if you're working out, same thing. You say, well, I've never done 50 push-ups. Well, before you leave the gym today, you're going to knock out 50 push-ups because you're building confidence in your mind.
I like that.
And it's something as simple like I leave my house dirty. Before you leave, you clean your house. Be uncomfortable because you're building confidence.
Yeah.
So when you get those rejections, you can look back on your life and be like, yo, but no, I couldn't do 50 push-ups, but I progressed. I was a messy person, but I can clean. I got 100 no's, but I got one yes.
Yeah.
And you only got to win the lotto once.
That's
and
true.
It changes your life.
Okay.
And if I told you you're going to get 1,000 no's, but the 1,001 you're going to get a yes, how quickly would you want to get those no's?
Yeah, no doubt. Well, that was a great story. Thank you for sharing that.
Hey, thanks for having me, bro. I hope anyone watching this right now or listening, I hope you I hope I change your life. Like, if I can die and change one person's life, like, that's all. If I can affect the masses, great. But one person, yo, DM me, write me, whatever you want. Like, I will be extremely happy because that's what life is about. It's not about the money. It's not about the riches. It's about giving back to humanity, giving back to the human race.
I love it. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to